Hey guys, today is March the 19th of 2022, and I wanted to do a market recap of the sectors I follow and some that have been requested. So without any further delay, let's get into it. By the way, I just want to let you know, I was at a recording studio yesterday, and one of the engineers loaned me this Yeti Blue USB microphone. Wow, it sounds amazing compared to my mic input from my laptop. This is just amazing. I'm going to have to pick one of these up when I'm on the road. But anyway, I just wanted to give you an update that the quality sounds much better. So sorry for putting you guys into a rough, but I feel like I needed to just do some videos, even in the trenches with my laptop. And I'm still on my laptop, but I got a better mic. So let's get into it. As you can see, this is the daily right here, and this is the weekly. This is the dollar. Just wanted to see where the dollar is at. And so far, you can see that the dollar is above the cloud, above all moving averages. We did get a little sell-off here. We had the ninth Tom DeMark candle on the daily, a couple of PPS sell signals. Now we have the latest one, which is negative, but overall, it's still strong and bullish. Maybe this is just a just short-term pullback above the 20. I mean, if it pushes lower, value area low is 97, and you got the Kumo cloud here at 97. On the weekly, it looks positive. Everything looks good. It's trending higher. The MACD has a sell signal, so it's a little on the weaker side. I don't know if it's going to continue, but so far, it looks good. AppHarvest, stock I've been watching since last year. As you can see, I got in at 96, 97, and 607, and I have it marked there, but I wish I could have bought here. I wanted to do one more big load up the truck, but I never had a chance to do it. And got so busy with life. And when I come and look, I'm like, wow, look where it's at now. But so far, it's looking good. You see the MACD is very positive. Volume is positive. You're above the cloud on the daily. You already went through value area high. And you're coming up to the 200, which is at 747. So we're going to eventually test that moving average and see what happens. And also this value area low is going to probably be resistance. So maybe we might have to fight there. That's 707. We're already at 6. So it's kind of as high as 667. So just keep an eye on that. But so far, everything is looking good. Once we get above the weekly cloud, things are going to look much, much better. Hive is the next stock I want to cover. I wanted to get exposure to cryptocurrency, but I have a Coinbase account and I didn't want to really buy any Bitcoin or anything or trade anything like that, even though I have an account. But I wanted to get an exposure to the Bitcoin sector with a stock, and I did my research, and Hive came up, sparked my interest. So I went and got in at 170. I think it was last week. Maybe 2 weeks ago. I can't remember the date, but I did get in recently, and I got in at 170, and now we got a PPS buy signal. Linear regression channels are still pointing down. You're gonna have to deal with the 20 and the 50 SMA on the weekly, the cloud on the weekly, and on the daily, you got to deal with the weekly. And this level is going to be key right here, 233. Once we get out of the cloud, things are going to look better. MACD is positive on the weekly and the daily so far. You can see that it's just been chopping around from the last week, couple of weeks. Since January, just been going sideways. And maybe we might get this breakout that everybody's expecting. So let's see. You got also a Tom DeMark 9th candle right here. And then it kind of pulled back. And now maybe this is going to be the breakout. Ethereum, same thing. You can see that it's chopping around. MACD is positive right here. But no PPS and no white candles. So it's still kind of like in the woodworks. On the daily, you can see that it's just kind of going sideways. And resistance would be that 30.33 and 31.58. Once it gets out of the cloud, obviously you got the 200 SMA, which is at 32.11. So that's that. But overall, we got a PPS buy signal, and the MACD is positive on the weekly and the daily. Bitcoin, kind of like in the same thing. That 4251 is going to be some key resistance. You're in the cloud, so it's going to get a little while. The good thing is that linear regressions are kind of slanting to the upside. MACD is positive. You're above two moving averages, but you got the 200 above here. And then on the daily, bad thing on the weekly, you can see that the linear regression channels are pointing sideways, indicating it's just chop fest here. You're holding the cloud in the cloud, so it's going to get a little wild. You're going to have to deal with the 50 and the 20 SMA. And this level right here, 4,900, is a key resistance. And the point of control is 47.94. So this is going to be where the battle is. Once you get above 47.97, then the value area high will be somewhere around 56.60. Go to crude oil. And crude oil got a Mac Daddy buy signal. You're above the cloud. Linear regressions are pointing up, so it looks good. Got a nice little pullback because it was very overextended. Above the 50, battling the 20 right now. The cloud is still positive, and the weekly's positive. So far it looks good. Maybe this is a good, buying opportunity right here. Or maybe if it pushed lower, this area would be nice. Value area low, 91. Linear regression right here, support. If it pushes, if it gives a fake out and wants to go even lower, maybe this would be a good entry. So far, everything looks strong on crude oil. CCJ, I got stopped out this week on the 16th. That Fed event came over here and sold, hit my stop. I kept trailing it up because seasonality wise, CCJ is very toppy on March. So I didn't want to take a risk that it was going to continue pushing lower. So I raised my stop and I got stopped out, and then that's it. I'll keep my eyes on it and see what happens. If we're gonna take out that 28.49 of the November high, and it pushes higher, then I'll get back in. But so far, it needs to show me that it's gonna continue going higher, and it's gonna ignore the seasonality of March. So it has to prove itself to me that that's not gonna happen. But if it starts failing here, and we can't even take out this high of the 10th, and it starts selling off. You got key support here, 22.25. That needs to hold. Value area low, 23. I got stopped out at 23.63, somewhere around there. It needs to hold these levels. But overall, the linear regressions are pointing up. It's above the moving averages. But like I said, it's a battle between seasonalities and market sentiment. And the bulls and the emotions and everything and what's going on around the world. If it could, hold and push higher, then, kudos. But the seasonalities kick in, it could, turn and it could go lower. So it's on my radar. Copper looks strong. I haven't seen copper in a while, so this is my first eyes looking at it. Yeah, you're above all the moving averages. Kumo cloud, linear regression pointing up. Yeah, looking good. I mean, it's kind of, volatile right here. Very extreme moves, but overall, it's looking good. Value area high, 478 for short term. So let's see. Looking positive. Okay, so now we have URNM, and you can see that value area high has been that 84 above the cloud. Almost got in, kind of battling here, just kind of going back and forth into maybe negative, positive. But the Mac Daddy is positive. Now it's positive on the daily. Linear regression channels are pointing up. You're above the cloud. Value area high is 83. Yeah, so that's a key level to keep an eye on. And obviously this high of 87. So far as, it needs to make higher highs and higher lows. And so far it's doing that. So it looks good. URA, same thing. Value area high is 25.47, 25.98. You above the cloud, so that's a plus. You got a MACD positive, the weekly's positive, and so far everything looks good. This level right here, 26.93, keep an eye on. And like I said, that November high, 31.60, we can't take that out. Just go sideways, just chop around. It could maybe turn, but I've just got my eyes on it. Okay, we have here platinum, and you can see that it has been sideways. And as I see the linear regression channel, and I haven't even seen this market in a long time. You can see that right here is just going sideways. Value area high is at 1117. Point of control, which is at 1042. Value area low is 919. You're in the cloud on the weekly. You just got a sell signal on the MACD. And same thing here on the daily. And it's pointing, linear regression channels are pointing lower. You're below the 20, the 50, trying to stay above the 200 SMA and at the value area low and trying to stay above the cloud. Last couple of days have been positive, but the last 2 weekly candles have been very negative. And that's that. It's just chop fest. You can just see it right here. The line in the sand is at 1040, and you couldn't even retest that high. So you're in the cloud. So, your midterm, very choppy. Short term, you're barely staying, above ground. Palladium, I haven't seen this market either. On the daily, you're positive, although you got a Tom DMark ninth candle right here, and you got a PPS sell signal below the mobile band, above the 15 to 20. So you're kind of just hanging in there, and you're above the cloud, so that's good. Maybe you get a MACD buy signal here, and it's trend higher. But so far on the short term, you're positive. It's kind of fluctuating. And on the midterm, which is the weekly chart is kind of pointing down, and you just got out of the cloud, but then you're trying to stay above it. Where are you at? 2484. So you're somewhere around here. Somewhere around here. So you're just trying to stay above the cloud, and then looks like the Mac Daddy just turned negative here. So be interesting to see how this all going to play out. But you're kind of like, in the middle. I remember this trader in Chicago. He says, "Don't fiddle in the middle." So yeah, so it's kind of like in the middle. I will wait to see what it's going to do next. Somebody requested DNN. I own DNN. I still hold it. Let's see. You're chopping around here, but positive above the cloud. And this value area high of 171 is your resistance level. Good thing is you got a MACD buy signal, but you don't have it on the PPS, but kind of in there. Value area low is this 140, and you can see that the cloud indicates that too, but the linear regression channels are pointing up, and the point of control is $1.50. On the weekly, you're above the moving average, and linear regression channels pointing up, but it looks like it's just kind of getting a little choppy here in regards to the indication of the future. But other than that, it still looks good. As long as we can hold, 150, 140, and push any lower, then it'll be good. UEC, I own UEC also. My stops are a little further out on these, but my chemical one got stopped out. This one looks good above the cloud. Value area high is 489, kind of resistance level right now, and the point of control is at $4. So that's the line in the sand. Value area low is at 354. You got the cloud, that linear regression channel. You're above the moving averages, so that's good. And on the weekly, you saw that it kind of got a little weak. Now it's kind of positive, but it's kind of like going back and forth. And I say it again, we need to take out those highs of November. We're just kind of going back and forth with the volatility. But as long as we could take out those highs, things start looking even much better. Right now, that's where we're at. So far, it's looking good. Gold is interesting. March 21st, the change of season is going to start next week. And if you've been seeing my videos on gold, using the seasonality, normally gold bottoms out around March the 21st and on. So I got my eyes on it. If it starts selling lower into next week, I'm going to nibble at it. I got some levels I'm watching, that 1888, 50 right here. You see that right here is that 1928, and it's trying to stay above there, fighting there. This is the point of control right now. This is where the battle is, that 1923. So when it gets down here, people are going to be buying it. When it gets up here, the bears are going to get aggressive. So we got to see if we could just get some big volume next week. If it's going to turn with the seasonality, or, if it's going to turn, because it's all probability. We don't know if it's going to happen, but on average, what happened in the past is that it kind of turns around this season here. The weekly, no MACD sell signal yet, and no Tom DMark knife weekly candle. Not here on the daily. Just got one PPS sell signal, but overall is above the moving averages, and it's just strong, but just got to see what's going to happen. But so far, kind of hanging in there, but still, bullish, consolidating. I got two more. Natural gas. The daily is positive, above all the moving averages, above the cloud, above value area high. Now, the weekly, got some trend lines here. Struggling this trend line. You got the support at 435. I got in this thing and then got stopped out. Gained something, but it wasn't really much because I know this thing was volatile, especially when it popped here. I've just been on the sidelines. I've been watching it. I want to see if it could get above this trend line. It hasn't yet. So that's why I haven't got an alert at $5.10. See if it could climb up there. The value area high is at 562. Point of control, where the battle is 469. And the value area low is 375. So if it dips down here, this is good buying opportunity. If it gets up there, is to sell it or sell it at the point of control. So far, everything looks positive. It's just a big battle going back and forth between the bulls and the bears on the weekly. And then on the daily, you're above the cloud. So it's on the stronger side. But this trend line from this high, this is where they just whack you. The bears kick in, and we haven't even gone up there yet to at least close above that, especially that 510 level. And lastly is silver. What can I say? On the mid-time frame, on the weekly, what is it, 2513? You're in the clouds. It's going to get wild. There's some kind of support right here, 2519. No MACD sell signal yet, but you're above the moving averages, so that's all good. It's just kind of consolidating and more kind of getting on a little weaker side, but that's that there. Kind of tricky. On the daily, you're positive. Point of control is at 2558, and the value area low is 24. So bulls will be buying here, and the bears will come and get you here. And then that's the line in the sand in the middle, and that's where the battle is. But overall, you're above the cloud. You're battling the 20, you're above the 50, the 100, and the 200, and this is some good support, 23.0 something, 06. And the MACD hasn't turned positive yet on the daily. You got a PPS sell signal. So it's kind of positive and just kind of fighting, waiting for a big, the big move where it really wants to go. And that's that. Those are my thoughts on the markets I've covered. Hopefully you like this video, and hopefully maybe next week I'll do another one on the weekend. Hope you have a great weekend.